Hello everyone, welcome to CIT University. Welcome to our class, The Contemporary World. I'm Brady La Victoria, a graduate of AB Political Science, as well as a graduate of Masters in Public Administration. I've been in the academy for more than 15 years, teaching in different social sciences subjects. My expertise in the field of political science. However, in this class, we'll be talking about the contemporary world. It is more in relation to political science, considering that during our classes in political science, we'll be discussing about international relations. Welcome again, gentlemen and ladies, and thank you for trusting CIT as you continue to pursue your career in life. Allow me to introduce the subject matter, the contemporary world. Allow me to show to you the slides, and this presentation already uploaded to our Google Classroom as well as to the module course that will be available later on. Now let's talk about first the course content. This course introduces to all of you the contemporary world as we examine the multifaceted phenomenon of globalization. Globalization, I believe, it is not a new thing, as we are going to discuss later on the origin and the history of globalization. We are using different disciplines of social sciences. It examines the economic, social, political, technological, and other transformations that have created increasing awareness of the interconnectedness of peoples and places around the globe. Whether we like it or not, there is now such thing as interconnectedness among people in the world today because of the advancement of technology. As we are going to examine later on, the economic aspect of the world today probably is so timely, gentlemen and ladies, as we are going to discuss the global economy later on, how the pandemic affect the global economy. Whether we like it or not, no exemption in this world, no country in this world can say that they are not affected with the global or the so-called pandemic that we are facing, the coronavirus 2019. This is one of the many aspects that we are going to tackle, and probably later on we can give our insights, and probably we can give our suggestions to our political leaders who are given the privilege to run this country. And also, to this end, the course provides an overview of various debates in global governance. There are a lot of various debates of global governance, gentlemen and ladies, as we are going to discuss. And probably what comes into your mind when you're talking about global governance, let's try to find out that later on, because there are a lot of issues when we are talking about global governance, up to the extent we will say, is it really a necessity to have a global governance in addressing a particular global problem? Let's try to find out. Development and sustainability beyond exposing the student to the world outside the Philippines. It seeks to inculcate a sense of global citizenship and global ethical responsibility. That's why, is there such thing as global citizenship? Can we be a global citizen? What does it mean? Can we be part of to all countries in the world? When you're talking about citizenship, you're talking about political membership of a certain political body. Is there such thing as global citizenship? Can we equate the citizenship in the context of law and in the context of globalization? Is there really difference or differences between citizenship in the context of law and in the context of globalization? Let's try to find out that later on. And also we're going to discuss population education in the context of population and demography. There are some issues being posted in the different social media platform that as we are facing the health problems today, the so-called pandemic that we are facing, they said, some of the experts said, it is designed by the Chinese government in order to depopulate China, considering China as the largest or the biggest population in the world today? Let's try to find out that later on. Now, let's go to the course content. Okay, the course content are the following. Let's have the introduction to globalization, and with that we are going to define what is globalization. I believe there are a lot of definitions given by different experts of what is really the nature, the concept of globalization. Let's try to find out that, gentlemen and ladies. Second, the structures of globalization, as we discuss or focus on the discussion of the global economy. Third, you have the market integration, the global interstate system, the contemporary global governance. These are the topics under number 3 that we are going to tackle. This is a long discussion, a long story as we go on, as we discuss about the market integration, interstate system, and the contemporary global governance. And fourth, you have the global divides, the north and the south. In the early century, we call it that the world is divided between the west and the east. And now, let's have the north and the south. Now, let's go to the Asian regionalism. There is one issue that was raised, gentlemen and ladies, whether or not Asian regionalism is against globalization, or Asian regionalism is a fuel to globalization. Let's try to find out that later on. Then you have the global media cultures, or globalization of media. We know for a fact one of the issues that we are facing in this country, and even it created divisions among people, among citizens in this country, upon the shutdown of the ABS-CBN, wherein it is considered as a global media. Let's try to find out that later on. And also, the globalization of religion, guys. Now, let's go to the global population and mobility. The movement of people, the movement of the population. What are the factors behind the movement of the people? And let's talk about the global city. Can there be a city in this country, Philippines, will be classified or categorized to become a global city? Let's try to find out what are the categories, what are the requirements, or shall we say requirements on any procedures that we are going to look into in order to consider a certain city as a global city. Then let's talk about demography. Let's talk about migration. That includes refugees, guys. And you'll be talking about towards sustainable development. We'll be focusing more on the United Nations sustainable development. And also, with that, we'll talk about global food security. There is an irony in the world. Statistics will show there is an increase of hunger all over the world, especially in the countries in sub-Saharan desert Africa. However, on the other side of the story, there is an increase of obesity. That's so ironic. And let's try to find out that later on. And the last topic that we're going to discuss is global citizenship. Can there be a global citizen? If it is possible, is it okay now to move from one place to another without visa? That is a question that we are going to look into as we go on, as we discuss this subject matter, the contemporary world. And now let's go to the course requirements and grading system. These are the things that we are going to do. Let's have the major exams, the midterm, and the final examinations. You have a report, you have video presentation, you have insight papers, and we'll be having a quizzes and exercises to be conducted to the rest of the semester. And every time that we have an activity, what I am also asking is only 50% is the required passing percentage. And this is how we are going to grade you in all activities, to the midterm grade as well as to the final. Okay, just check it, gentlemen and ladies, as I already uploaded this presentation to our Google Classroom as well as to our Moodle course. Now, made for learners participation is a necessity for the success of our class. Okay, you are expected to participate consistently in all activities. The success of the made for learners depends to some extent on the work you do read the required text carefully, put a lot of thought and effort into your assigned work. Hopefully, you will abide with this suggestion, gentlemen and ladies, so that our class will become interesting, interactive, and we can have a better output in this class. Then deadlines and all activities should be turned in on time. Failure to comply will affect your grade. All assignments in hard copy are due at the beginning of class. However, you will not anymore submit a hard copy considering this is a blended learning. This is a distance delivery of education. We are just using the modern technology. All assignments will be submitted, or quizzes and all activities will be submitted in soft copy. It may be through the Moodle course, it may be through Facebook, it may be through the Google Classroom, as the case may be. So the closing dates and times shall be observed. All format soft copy is APA. And note, gentlemen and ladies, for plagiarism. Plagiarism is a crime. Plagiarism is punishable by law. As well as in this class, plagiarism is punishable. It may be failure in a requirement or up to the extent you fail in the course. And, well, if you have some problems, not your personal problems, you have some concerns in our class, you can consult with me. Okay, sign up for a consultation on Facebook, Google Classroom, or in the Moodle, or send me a message. Please be ready to consult and deliver during your designated time. You may consult briefly via email. Be sure to indicate the course title. These are the suggested readings, gentlemen and ladies. Since you don't have to go to the library because we are still having restrictions in going out, especially some of you are not allowed to go out considering that we are still in the community quarantine. So 20 years old and below, you're not allowed to go out, okay, as being mandated by our government. That's why, gentlemen and ladies, as much as I can, I will provide you all the notes that you need, that we need in this class in order that it can help you to understand the concept of what is really globalization. Thank you and have a nice day.
My goodness. Oh,